Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're focusing on a small but meaningful piece of Canadian history, the 2003 Canadian 1-cent coin. At first glance, it may look like just another old penny, worn from circulation and easy to overlook. But when we take the time to explore its design, history, and context, we discover that this little coin tells a story of Canada's identity, its connection to the Crown, and the final chapters of a denomination that no longer exists in everyday life. The Canadian penny's role. For generations, the Canadian penny was a constant companion in daily transactions. Introduced in the 19th century, it remained a part of Canadian currency for over 150 years. By 2003, it was still common in pockets and purses, used for everything from rounding out a purchase to filling up a change jar at home. While small in value, the penny symbolized thrift, everyday life, and the humble beginnings of countless collections. The 2003 edition is part of that legacy, issued just a decade before Canada officially discontinued the cent. Obverse design. The obverse of the 2003 penny features a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This was the effigy created by Canadian artist Dora de Pedery Hunt, first introduced in 1990. It shows the Queen facing right, wearing a string of pearls, and depicted with maturity and dignity. This was the first portrait of the Queen on Canadian coins designed by a Canadian artist, making it a milestone in the country's coinage history. In 2003, her image was more than just a royal likeness. It symbolized Canada's continued ties to tradition, while also reflecting its growing sense of national artistry. Reverse design. On the reverse side, we find one of the most iconic Canadian coin designs, the maple leaf twig, created by G.E. Kruger Gray in 1937. Two maple leaves share a single stem, representing strength, growth, and Canada's natural heritage. The design had already been in use for decades by 2003, and it had become instantly recognizable to Canadians everywhere. For many, the maple leaf penny was a symbol of the nation itself, proudly carrying its identity on the smallest denomination of currency. Coin specifications. The 2003 penny was struck in copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.35 grams and measuring 19.05 millimeters in diameter. Earlier pennies had a bronze composition, but by the 2000s, cost-saving changes had led to the use of cheaper metals with a thin copper coating. When freshly minted, the 2003 cent gleamed with a bright red color, but as it circulated, that shine faded into darker browns and reddish tones. Over time, its surfaces picked up scratches, dents, and other marks from daily use, each sign of wear adding to its unique character. Circulated condition. When we examine a 2003 penny in circulated condition, we see evidence of its life in the hands of Canadians. The Queen's portrait often shows smoothing across the hair, pearls, and crown. On the reverse, the delicate veins of the maple leaves may appear faint, worn down by years of handling. Rim nicks, dull surfaces, and discoloration are common. While some may see these as flaws, they are actually the fingerprints of history. Every circulated coin carries the memory of thousands of everyday exchanges. Canada in 2003. To place this coin in context, we should remember what Canada was like in 2003. This was the year Queen Elizabeth II celebrated the 50th anniversary of her coronation, her Golden Jubilee. Canada marked the occasion with celebrations, but the penny itself carried on with its standard designs. At the same time, discussions were growing louder about the usefulness of the 1-cent coin, as its production cost was edging higher than its face value. So while Canadians used the penny daily in 2003, it was already becoming a coin of debate. Collector's perspective. From a collector's standpoint, the 2003 penny is not rare. Millions were minted, and in circulated condition, most are worth only their face value. However, for collectors building complete sets of Canadian cents, every year matters. High-grade uncirculated examples or special mint strikes can carry small premiums, and rare mint errors from this year are especially sought after. But even a worn, circulated 2003 penny has meaning as a representative of the final decade of Canada's beloved cent. Why it still matters. So why does a coin like this still matter? Because the penny is no longer part of Canadian currency. Production officially ended in 2012, and by 2013, pennies were withdrawn from circulation. That means every 2003 penny we find today is already a relic of the past. It represents not only Canada's monetary history but also the shared experiences of daily life, pocket change at the corner store, spare coins in a piggy bank, or the satisfying clink of saving pennies in a jar. Conclusion. At the end of the day, the 2003 Canadian 1-cent coin in circulated condition may not make anyone rich, but it is rich in meaning. It tells a story of design, of history, of national identity, and of transition. It is a coin that lived a full life in everyday circulation and now stands as a reminder of a currency that has since vanished. So the next time you come across a 2003 penny, don't overlook it. Instead, take a moment to appreciate the story behind this small but powerful piece of Canadian heritage.